You have probably heard of the term verb conjugation being thrown around during your German learning journey. But what exactly is it, and more importantly, why should you care about it? The purpose of verb conjugation in German is to ensure subject-verb agreement. So, let's break it down. To ensure the subject-verb agreement, you need to pay attention to two things: the subject's person, first person, second person, or third person, and its number, singular or plural. These two factors determine which ending you must add to the verb stem. Fortunately, for most regular German verbs, these endings follow a clear pattern. Take the verb lernen as an example. You start with the infinitive form of the verb, lernen. The infinitive is the verb form you would find in a dictionary. We can say the normal form of the verb. Remove the en at the end to have the verb stem, learn. Then add the correct ending. For example, for the first person singular, the pronoun is ich and the verb conjugation ending is e. Other endings are shown in the table. Do you see the pattern? Now, let's put these rules into practice and hear what the verb lernen actually sounds like when we conjugate it through all the persons. Repeat after me.
Ich lerne. Du lernst. Sie, es lernt. Wir lernen. Ihr lernt. Sie lernen.
Believe it or not, English does the exact same thing, just a lot less often. Let's pull up the English conjugation for the verb to learn and you'll immediately see the connection. Look closely at the screen. What do you notice? Notice how in almost every single case in English, the verb is just the base form, I learn, we learn, they learn. It barely changes. But look at the German side. For every single person, ich, du, ihr, wir, the ending is different. That's why German verb conjugation is such a big deal. It does all the work that English largely ignores. Now, look at the one place English does change, he learns, with the simple s ending. That is the exact same concept as the German third-person singular, ihr lernt, which uses the t ending. Same rule, different sound. Okay, so you've mastered the regular verb pattern, but every language has its exceptions. While the majority of German verbs follow those neat rules, there is a small, yet mighty, group of irregular verbs you simply must know by heart. These three are your absolute foundation.
Sein. Haben. Werden.
Let's start with
Sein.
Let's tear up the rules we just learned, because Sein follows none of them. Here is the conjugation you need to memorize. Notice how the stem completely changes as you go down the list. Read it with me.
Ich bin. Du bist. Sie, es ist. Wir sind. Ihr seid. Sie sind.
Now, notice that this chaotic pattern isn't unique to German. The English verb to be is also a wild card. Let's put the German and English conjugations side by side so you can see the direct parallel and understand why this one verb is so fundamental to both languages. So, let's look at how Sein works in action. Watch how the conjugation changes depending on the subject, just like we saw on the chart. For the first person, I am, we use bin.
Ich bin ein Student.
For the informal you are, we use bist.
Du bist sehr freundlich.
And for, we are in Berlin, we use sind.
Wir sind in Berlin.
That's one pillar down. Now let's tackle the second essential irregular verb, haben, meaning to have. While not quite as wild as Sein, haben is fundamental for possession, and, spoiler alert, it's the most common helper verb for forming the past tense in German. Now for haben. Take a look at its pattern. It's not totally regular, but the good news is, it's more stable than Sein. It uses the stem hab for almost every person. The key exceptions here are the du form, hast, and the ihr zs form, hut, where the b completely disappears. But for all the plural forms and the ich form, the root hab stays intact. Let's read it out to build that muscle memory.
Ich habe. Du hast. Sie, es hat. Wir haben. Ihr habt. Sie haben.
Remember, haben is for two things. First, possession, just like in English. For example,
Ich habe ein Auto.
second, and this is the important one for later, it's your past tense helper. You'll use a conjugated form of haben to build sentences like
Wir haben gelernt.
Fantastic! We've secured Sein and Haben. Now, let's wrap up our power trio with the last essential irregular verb, Werden, which means to become, but is most frequently used to talk about the future. Like haben, this verb is mostly regular, but has one crucial irregularity, a vowel change in the singular. Take a look. Notice the change. The core stem Werd is used everywhere, except the singular forms du wirst and es wird. E switches to an I. This is a common pattern for many German verbs, so getting used to it here is key. Let's read it out to build that muscle memory.
Ich werde. Du wirst. Sie, es wird. Ihr werdet. Sie werden.
Why is this verb so important? Because it does two jobs. It means to become,
Sie wird Lehrerin.
but its main job is to form the future tense, just like will in English. We use the conjugated form of werden with an infinitive at the end.
Ich werde Deutsch lernen.